The special dish. It was King Krishna Deva Raya's birthday, and the courtiers were invited for a special feast at the royal palace. When Rama returned home, he couldn't stop praising the food at the royal palace, especially the seedless brinjals in thick curry. Seedless brinjal? You must be mistaken. All brinjals have seeds.
No, I am not. The servant said that the plant was given by a foreigner, and the plant is only grown in the royal kitchen garden.
Is it so? Then get me a few. Let me also taste it and see if it is really as tasty as you say it is.
Oh, no, I cannot. Nobody is allowed to pluck from the royal garden.
Oh, God, what a selfish husband I have. He has had a wonderful feast at the royal palace, but he can't fulfill his wife's simple request of bringing a few seedless brinjals.
Okay, dear. I will get the brinjals for you.
When it was dark outside, Rama went to the royal kitchen garden. He slowly and quietly picked a few of the brinjals and hurried home. Rama's wife cooked the brinjals. These are the most delicious brinjals I have ever eaten. Call our son. Let him also eat it too.
No, he is a child. He will go tell everyone about it, and the king will know that I stole the brinjals.
No, he will not. Go, wake him up. Rama's son was sleeping in the open courtyard. Rama sprinkled some water on his son.
Wake up, son. It's raining. Come inside.
Here, son, eat this. The next day,
Oh, king, a few of the brinjals from the kitchen garden are missing. Maharaj, it must be Rama. Yesterday, he was very curious to know what the tasty curry was made of. He was told of the seedless brinjals, and maybe he stole it. Rama, what have you to say to this? Maharaj, nobody will believe it even if I tell the truth. It's known that children don't lie, so why don't you ask my son?
Rama's son was summoned to the court.
Dear boy, what did you have for dinner last night?
Maharaj, we had brinjal curry.
Rama, why did you steal the brinjals? I would have gifted them to you if you had requested for them. Maharaj, my son ate his dinner when he was sleepy. He had slept early in the evening and was woken up to have dinner.
That's true, Maharaj. I was sleeping in the courtyard when it started to rain, and Father took me inside.
At this, everybody present realized that the child must have been sleepy. It had not rained last night, and the sleepy child was mistaken about what he had for dinner. That evening, the king and Rama were walking by the river.
Rama, I am still puzzled over who would have dared to steal the brinjals from the garden. I will tell you who the thief is if you promise to forgive him. Okay, I will forgive him.
Rama told the king the whole story. The king laughed at the witty way Rama saved himself and forgave him. One day, a great scholar came to the court of King Krishna Deva Raya.
Namaste, Maharaj. I have traveled to many lands and kingdoms. I have many debates with great scholars, but no one could defeat me. We have heard of your unchallenged knowledge on all subjects. That is very true, Maharaj. I am the greatest scholar. I have come here to challenge the learned scholars of Vijayanagar. I claim that no one can match my knowledge. Oh, is that so? The challenge will begin tomorrow.
Ooh. Aha!
The next day, all the debates were won by the great scholar. This made the king very upset.
Rama, what do we do? I would have accepted defeat if he was not so arrogant. We have to find a person who can challenge him.
Do not worry, Maharaj. Announce the next debate.
The next day,
Let the debate begin. What will the topic be?
It will be on this rare book. Let me give you this book to read, as it is very rare, and probably you might not have read it.
this comment upset the scholar.
Sir, I have read all the books, so just name the book and start the debate.
The book is called Tilakashta Mahisha Bandhana.
The scholar never read or heard of the book in his life.
Oh, that's a rare book indeed. It's been so long since I read it that I need to refresh my memory. Can we have the debate tomorrow?
Yes, sure we can.
The next morning, the great scholar failed to show up. He had not heard of the book and feared the humiliation he would have to face at the court, so he had fled the city.
Rama, tell me about the rare book you wanted to debate on.
Oh, King, there is no such book. I had named it Tilakashta Mahisha Bandhana, in which the word Tilakashta means dried sticks of sesame. Mahisha Bandhana means a rope to tie a buffalo. The bundle I was carrying was actually dried sticks of sesame tied with a rope. I wrapped it in red silk so that it looked like a rare and precious book.
The king and all the people had a hearty laugh. The king rewarded Rama handsomely for his wit and intelligence. He hoped that the great scholar learned his lesson and would be more modest about Tenali Rama and the thieves. There were many incidents of theft in Vijayanagar. Everybody was talking about it. Rama, too, had heard of these thefts. One night, as Rama was retiring to bed, he saw some movement in the bushes. He was sure it was the thieves. He called out to his wife and told her about the thieves and the plan he had. A little while later,
There have been a lot of robberies in the city. I fear for our valuables, so I have put it in this trunk. Help me carry it to the garden, and we will put it in the well. Then nobody will find it.
Rama and his wife went back into the house and closed the doors and windows. When it was quiet, the thieves came out of hiding and went to the well.
It's too deep. What do we do now? Let's draw the water out of the well. Then we can reach the trunk and pull it out. That's a good idea. Let's do it.
The thieves drew buckets and buckets of water from the well. It was dawn, but they still hadn't reached the trunk. Rama came out of his house.
Thank you, fellows, for watering my garden. You have saved me a lot of work.
On hearing the loud voice, the thieves got a fright and ran away. Rama had received many complaints of a greedy and cheating moneylender, so he decided to teach him a lesson. Rama went to the moneylender.
Sir, I need 3 large vessels. I am hosting a feast, and I will need them for a day.
Okay, I will lend them to you for a cost of 2 gold coins per day. This you need to pay me in advance.
Rama knew that the moneylender was charging him double the price.
That's fine with me. Here's the advance.
Ramu, get 3 large vessels.
The next day, Rama went to the market and bought 3 vessels of the same shape but smaller in size. He went to the moneylender.
Hello, sir. Here are your 3 large vessels. I guess they were pregnant, as they delivered these 3 smaller vessels this morning. So I guess these smaller vessels, too, belong to you.
Oh, yes. Ramu, put all the vessels into the store.
The moneylender was most delighted. He had given Rama 3 vessels and got back 6. After a few days, Rama came to the moneylender again.
I am performing a yajna at my house. Many Brahmins and priests need to be fed, so I will need a few large vessels for 5 days.
Ramu, load the vessels this man needs.
Thank you. Here is the advance.
This man is stupid. I can take advantage of his stupidity. Sir, these vessels are also pregnant and will deliver in a day or 2. So please take care of him and the young ones.
Okay, sir. I will.
Days went by, but Rama did not return the vessels to the moneylender. Worried, the moneylender rushed to Rama's house.
Sir, where are my vessels? You had taken them for 5 days, but it has been more than 10 days now.
I am sorry to inform you that they died during childbirth.
You cheat! How can that be?
Sir, sometimes pregnant ladies die while giving birth. That's what happened to your vessels.
You are a cheat! You are lying to me! I am going to take you to court for this.
At the court, the king listened to the whole story.
Moneylender, you accepted the baby vessels the first time. Didn't you know that they are not living things and can't give birth? So that if you have accepted that the vessels gave birth the first time, then you have to accept that they could die during childbirth.
This taught the moneylender a lesson, and he became an honest man. Meeting the Fairies. One day, a visitor came to the royal court of Vijayanagar to meet King Krishna Deva Raya.
Maharaj, there is a man outside wanting to meet you. He says he is from Neeldesh, and he is blue in color.
The king was curious.
Send him in.
Namaste, Maharaj. I am Neelketu from Neeldesh, and I have some magical power.
Neelketu performed some magic tricks. This impressed the king.
Maharaj, I also know a place where fairies reside. I have powers to make them dance for you.
Wow, I would like them to dance for me.
Sure, but it is possible only at a certain place where the fairies gather at night.
Where is it? I will come there.
Maharaj, it is on the outskirts of the city, near the old water tank. You will have to be there at midnight and all alone.
No, Maharaj. You should not go alone.
But the king did not listen to his chief of army and agreed to go alone. That night, the king rode to the old tank on the outskirts of the city all by himself. When the king reached the old water tank, he called out,
Where are you, Nilkitu? I am here, Maharaj.
At once they were surrounded by soldiers. The king and Nilkitu were surprised by all the activity.
Maharaj, this man here is a spy from the neighboring kingdom. He has painted himself blue to bring mystery to himself. I became suspicious when he asked you to come alone, so I asked my servant to follow him. My servant told me how the enemy soldiers were planning to kill you when you got here. So I made arrangements with our chief of army to be here to catch the enemy.
The king thanked Rama for saving his life and rewarded him handsomely.